Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Being Beautifully Honest podcast. And today I'm going to talk about something that I have a lot of thoughts about, but talking about someone and not really talking about her specifically, but just using her as an example because this is something that is actually going on, in her life right now. That I don't do very often is talk about people who are actually, on YouTube, and I consider them YouTubers. You guys know I do not consider myself a YouTuber. I'm an actual brick and mortar business owner who happens to have a channel on YouTube that I'm utilizing just to share more of my thoughts on life and things. And as a minister of beauty, I like to talk about the Bible, which is business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. So this person that I'm talking about today, she goes by Naptural85 on YouTube. Her name is Whitney, and she is a natural hair vlogger. And I've seen some of her videos. I actually think I'm subscribed to her channel, but I don't really watch a lot of her videos because I'm just not really into natural hair. Even though I have it, I would rather pay somebody to do my hair and not have to worry about it. But when I need to do some things from time to time, I may share some things on my channel here and there. And then I've had people ask me questions about things, so I just share, those things. But I'm just not one of those people who really likes to do hair. I'd rather just keep it simple and keep it moving and focus on my business. But vlogging about hair is her business because her hair is her business. And that's a great thing. But she has her channel on YouTube where she talks about all of these things regarding her hair, things she's tried, things that are going to be helpful for people, tips and tricks and all those cool things. And that's cool. And then she also has another channel where she shared her life and lifestyle with her child and her husband. And this is what I wanted to talk about. So you guys know there are a lot of people on YouTube, a lot of people. And I don't follow any of these channels, honestly, because I'm just not into it. Because again, I have my thoughts on them. But a lot of people who have channels where it's them sharing their family and their lifestyle, and they made it into a business. That may be all well and good when the money is rolling in, but do people do stuff like this for the sake of the money, and then it winds up damaging their family and their relationship for the sake of financials and for fame? And I don't know if that is the issue in this situation, because I don't know a whole lot about why they are getting divorced. I heard some different things, and again, all of these things are all rumors until she comes out and actually makes a statement regarding what happened as to why they're getting a divorce. Sometimes it may not be an actual physical act or anything like that that may cause these couples to split and to go their separate ways. Sometimes they just grow apart, and that can happen whether you are putting your lifestyle and life in the views of other people or not. Of course, that can happen, but I do feel that when you put all of that stuff out there, it can grow and cause issues. And I just am one of those people that I am against it. I'm against it for myself. I don't sit and judge what other people do, whether they should do it or not, because everybody has their own free will. Everybody has the right to choose what they would like to do for their own life and their lifestyle. And I just chose, honestly, over the years, to not share my, so much of my personal life where it involves my family, I may share things about myself because I don't mind sharing those things with people because it's me, and I have the right to choose what I share about myself and choose not to share about myself. But when it comes to my son or my husband, I choose not to really share those things on social media, hardly ever, if at all. I mean, it's because we just don't do that. And I just have not wanted to do that myself. So I always wanted to just keep some things personal. And I just feel that because of social media, I believe people share a whole lot more about themselves and about their families than if there were no social media outlets, they probably would never do. And I honestly relate social media to standing, let's just give an example. Standing on a hill, you're at the top of the hill, and there's this crowd of people, at the bottom. Or you're standing on a stage, and there's this crowd of people in the audience, and you're just as loud as you can so that the people can hear you, whether you're using a microphone or a megaphone, or you're just screaming out loud. You're just sharing all of these things with these people, whether they know you or not. And they have the right to decide whether they like you and they want to know more about you and follow you or whatever, or, they don't and they choose to tune you out. If there was no social media outlets and we all had to share in that way, would we be sharing our personal lives and the lives of our children and our husbands or wives or girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever in that same way? And I don't believe a lot of us would. But for some people in the beginning, it may have been something that was fun, and then they were able to monetize it, and then the money and the sponsorships and those things are rolling in. And then when trouble comes up in paradise, then not so much. And then you're left to not share anymore. And then people start to ask questions. Well, you haven't done a video in so long. What's up? How's the hubby? How's your baby? Or whatever. And these are things you don't really want to talk about, but you were doing it all the time before. So when people start asking questions, you cannot be surprised or upset when they start to ask questions, because they've been getting this content for so long. Now they're used to getting it. So when you're not sharing it, they have questions, and you may not really want to share. So apparently that's kind of what happened with Whitney, better known as Naptural85, where she had that other channel which had not really been getting any new content. So people started asking questions of her. And so she did an Instagram video where she just kind of mentioned that, she's getting a divorce. So of course that leads to some questions. Someone mentioned that her husband was, I guess he was not faithful, and possibly with a YouTube subscriber. I don't know if that's true, but it's just something that was mentioned. So again, that's a rumor. I don't really know if that's the truth or not. But either way, they're getting a divorce now. I'm not sure if they may choose to reconcile and come back together. It's possible because life happens. And I don't know how long they've been married, but sometimes people may say we're going to get divorced, but then they may call it off and they may choose to come together and try to make things work. But I wanted to talk about this because I just wanted to get your thoughts on it, and you guys let me know in the comment section. How do you feel about couples and families sharing their lives on social media, especially for money? Now, if people are just on their personal Facebook pages and they want to share every waking moment of their lives with people, then if you just want to get on everyone's nerves and, have all of that stuff in, your friend's feed every single day, then more power to you. But when it comes to monetizing your lifestyle with your family, how do you guys feel about that? Do you feel that that is okay to do? Do you feel that it's not so safe to do it? Do you feel it's not really smart to do that? In my opinion, like I said, I'm not judging anyone that does it, but I am just saying for me, I just don't think that it makes sense to do that, and I never would do it. I don't really care how much money someone would pay me to share my lifestyle with my family on social media. The most you would ever get is the dogs. But in terms of my husband or, our child, I just don't feel that it's a smart thing to do for me. But again, if I had to choose for people, I just don't feel that that is a smart thing to do. And then also YouTube came out with the rules about sharing content about children on your platform, and they were demonetizing a lot of channels that were focused on babies and children. And that one I am more against than people who choose to share their relationship with their significant other than someone that's sharing their babies or their children, because the children don't have a choice in that. And if your children were of age, for example, my child is not under 18. So he has the right to choose whether he wants me sharing images or content about him. And even before that age, I just didn't do it. I didn't do it. But I always felt like if he had the choice, would he want me to be sharing images of him or not? And I feel that a lot of people use their children for the sake of getting likes and followers. And then for those who grow, of course, getting financials, getting sponsorship deals, and all of those different things because you have some cute children. And in a way, I just kind of feel like I hate to say it like this, but I mean, I'm just being beautifully honest because that's what this podcast is about. I feel like they're pimping their kids out, period. So that may not be very nice to say, but that's just the way I see it. But you guys let me know how you feel about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section respectfully. And you can support the podcast by clicking the links in the description box. So guys, thanks so much for joining me for this episode of the Being Beautifully Honest podcast. And thanks for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. This is the Minister of Beauty here to share the Bible. That's business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. And so until the next time, have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day.